Welcome back to our channel. A very delightful morning to all of you. Today in this class we are going to understand about the two different ways adopted by our national leaders to achieve freedom. As you all know that some of the leaders came to be known as extremists while the others came to be known as moderates. Though the moderates were working very well, what were the main reasons that led the rise of extremism in India? Those reasons we are going to figure out today. So let us have a look over it. Before moving on to that part, let us first of all understand who were the moderates and what was their feeling and the way to protest against the British rule here. So moderates were the believers of legitimate means to pursue their objectives through appeals, memorandums, and delegations. In order to influence the British people and politicians, moderates had sent a delegation to England to make British people aware of the problems of Indians. Moderates had started publishing newspaper called India and which was published from London. So every moderates used to pass a proposal and put up their demands through logical approach. There was no place for agitation in this program. They were apprehensive that agitation might result into lawlessness. That means किसी भी प्रकार की हिंसा का स्थान इनके वे में नहीं था, इनके तरीके में नहीं था. They protested very peacefully. So these people were moderates. The moderates did not succeed in achieving their demands through appeals or memorandums, but they have the credit of building the background ready for a struggle for freedom in the early life of Congress. They provided a platform for discussing national problems and educate people for political consciousness. Now, let us move on to the aggressive nationalism, that means the extremism. In the initial period of establishment of Indian National Congress, for 20 years, that means from 1885 to 1905, the command of Congress was in the hands of liberals, that means the moderates. The aggressive hardliners were tired of the politics of appeals, requests, and delegations. They wanted to prepare the people for national struggle through invoking self respect, self confidence, patriotism, and courage. They wanted to praise the British Empire to give the Indian their rights. In the annual convention of Indian National Congress in 1907, the party broke into two parts. One became the Naram Dal and the other became the Garam Dal. Naram Dal had the people with soft thinking, while the Garam Dal had the people with hard thinking or extreme thinking. So what were the causes of emergence of extremism? यानी कि गरम दल के निर्मित होने के क्या कारण थे? Those 8 reasons we will try to understand today. 8 reasons. So let us go through them one by one. The very first one is dissatisfaction towards the working of moderates. Yes, the aggressive leaders like Lala Rajpat Rai, Vipin Chandra Pal, Arvind Ghosh, and others realized that Indians would never get the political rights through memorandums and appeals. Aggressive leaders had no faith in so called British justice and philanthropy. They wanted to launch a powerful mass movement against British rule. That's why Lokmanya Tilak said, Indians will not get the freedom on a silver platter. Number 2, failure of legitimate movements. Having received a lot of requests and appeals from moderates, British finally in 1892 passed the Bharatiya Parishad Adhiniyam, दैट मीन्स एक कानून बनाया गया, एक अधिनियम बनाया गया, भारतीय परिषद अधिनियम, बट इट डिड नॉट प्रोवाइड एनी वैलिड राइट्स टू इंडियंस. Thus, all the hopes of getting political rights through legitimate means faded. इतनी कोशिशों के बावजूद भी कोई वैलिड राइट इंडियंस को नहीं मिले थ्रू द लेजिटिमेट मीन्स. दैट्स वाई ऑल द होप टू गेट द राइट्स थ्रू लेजिटिमेट मीन्स फेडेड अवे. नंबर 3, द रिएक्शनरी पॉलिसी ऑफ ब्रिटिश रूल. The main reasons of emergence of aggressive nationalism was the reactionary policy of British government. Whatever promises Indians were given through Bharat Sashan Adhiniyam and Queen Victoria's announcement in 1858, they proved to be only verbal farce. They were not followed in their true spirit. The policy of exploitation and discrimination continued as before. So during the period of narrow-minded rule in Britain, the command of Indian rule was also given to the reactionary viceroys in India. Number 4, economic policies of British government. Indian agriculture and industries suffered a major setback during the economic exploitation policy of British government. Their economic policies patronized the interest of capitalists. The import duty was removed from the British goods, which caused a heavy loss to Indian cottage industries. This point we also discussed in the last video. Number 5, the social, cultural and religious movements. By the end of 19th century, the social, cultural and religious movements continuously prepared Indian mind set to struggle against the injustice. As a result of these movements, people were charged with the feelings of self-respect, sacrifice and self-confidence. Arya Samaj and Swami Dayanand Saraswati struck the tendencies of indifference, lethargy and inferiority prevailing in Indian society and politically awakened the followers of Arya Samaj. So the nationalist leaders like Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Lala Rajpat Rai, Bipin Chandra Pal, Arvind Ghosh and Annie Besant, with the encouragement from the social and religious reform movements, gave a direction to the nationalist movements. Number 6, natural calamities. Drought and plague. So during the last decade of 19th century, people of India had to face many natural calamities. During the period of drought, British government was busy in organizing a grand Delhi Darbar, which was actually a meeting. There was an outbreak of plague in Mumbai in 1896. So during these natural calamities, the attitude of British government was of indifference, which enraged Indians. Number 7, impact of Western thinking and foreign revolutions. The knowledge of English enabled many educated Indians to come across the Western revolutionaries' idea. Rousseau, Voltaire, Mazzini, Burke and Garibaldi were the ones who influenced the most. The victory of Abyssinia on Italy and small countries like Japan's victory on Russia enthused the people with hope. The last 8th point, but important one, partition of Bengal and development of radical nationalism. Lord Curzon in 1905 divided Bengal into 2 parts following the policy of divide and rule. So this was a conspiracy to divide Hindus and Muslims of Bengal and break the bond of unity between them permanently. This caused a potentially explosive situation in Bengal. Surendranath Banerjee has written that partition of Bengal caused the nationalist movement to take the aggressive stance. Mahatma Gandhi accepted it in Hind Swaraj. That after the partition of Bengal, the real awakening took place in India. The ways were different, but the destination was same. All those cluster efforts made us free and independent. So keep watching the videos and please do share the videos through various platforms. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.